I want you to pause what you're doing, and I want you to drop a comment below and share with me and everybody else your first cast iron experience. Whether you burned your hand, or whether it was the smell of the kitchen when your grandma was cooking on a Sunday morning. Oh boy. And I remember, so when I was a kid, I don't know, I would say I was between 8 and 12 years old. Through those ranges I would go for the summertime. I would spend about a month in Memphis, Tennessee, where my grandparents lived, and it was a really good experience. And one thing, when I was trying to think back of my earliest cast iron memories is, so when I would stay for the summer, obviously, in the morning time, I would just smell the sausage and the biscuits, and I smelled all this stuff. It just permeated the entire house. So that was my granny's way of waking me up, right? And so anyway, and I remember being a kid and just all this, you come in there and then you see this beautiful black skillet, and you don't know what it is, but then she would cook those Jimmy Dean sausage patties. Oh boy, oh man, those were the best. And so I remember her putting down the cast iron skillet in the middle of the table, and you would grab your sausage right out of the pan, and it was just fantastic. And anything she cooked out of that skillet tasted wonderful. And so and again, I just wanted to make sure that we connect our stories, because if we're just out there and we're shopping for pans, or we're restoring them, and we're not thinking about the passion of why we do those extra things in a world of throwaway pans, where we buy a pan today and next year we're upgrading our kitchenware because we just jumped on whatever fad was popular and all that. So what makes cast iron unique is that it's not about the throwaway things. It's about the history. It's about bonding in a way with that pan. And so I had a video that I put out, and this lady was sharing me stories about her Dutch oven, and how this video, I guess, kindled this memory in herself about her mother and how she cooked in the Dutch oven. Well, and I asked her some questions and turned to find out she is using the same Dutch oven that her mother cooked in for years. And it was a very touching story for both of us, and she really, you could tell that it really meant a lot to her that we kindled this fire, so to speak, about her Dutch oven that her mother gave her. And so I hear these stories one after the other. And again, right now, wherever you are in the video, I challenge you right now, just drop a comment. Tell us why you started getting into cast iron, because what I've realized in my journey of talking about cast iron and my story, I've learned there is, when it comes to cast iron, there's a lot of passion. And I did a video about soap, or not to soap in cast iron, and whoo boy, I was really surprised to see the amount of passion coming out. And I'm like, hey, I'm not trying to divide America here. I just want to talk about the reality of whether or not you can use dish soap in your cast iron. So anyway, so that's kind of my thought tonight is, as we progress along in this journey to cast iron confidence, we have to find that one thing about us and the cast iron that we have. And so for us to continue that, find the drive and the wherewithal to continue to do the extra things, because we have to be honest. One thing some cast iron people don't want to talk about is, the truth is, it is more work. It is. However, like for me, this is the first pan that I ever bought, and it's a Lodge. It's a 12-inch, and my co-workers, between Joanne and Garrett, two my co-workers, they encouraged me to get in cast iron cooking. And this was, I don't know, 7 years ago ish, long around that. But anyway, so they were the ones that helped me take the dive into the deep end, so to speak, cast iron. And I've learned quite a bit in my journey. But anyway, so with my pan, there wasn't a ton of like emotional attachment to my pan in the beginning. And then when my best friend Kevin Matthew Freilich passed away in March It was this is 2025. This video is probably coming out in 2026, but it was March 20th of 2025. My best friend, he passed away, and I don't know if you've lost somebody, but it was really hard. And so for me, you know, I was just searching for things and trying to find things to kind of like just piece my life back together. And my coworker Joanne, she gave me her old pan, and so I decided to. I told her, I was like, I promise you, I will restore it and I will upload it to YouTube, and we'll go from there. Well, I had no idea that simple, basic video would land us where we are today. And I had no idea that video would have been the one video that is why we're talking about cast iron today for me, because something connected with you guys, with my story. And maybe it was, you know, that we were restoring a pan together. I'm not sure. Or maybe it was just simple and you just wanted to see how to restore a cast iron pan. And so I have a connection to this pan now with you guys more than any other pan. And, you know, even though I've had this pan longer, the connection is with the pan that I have today. And so if you're new and you're a beginner into cast iron and you're like, well, I don't have all that history. Well, guess what? Neither did I. But your history can start today. And you got to know the why behind getting into cast iron, because it's not an easy journey. It's not. It can be easy. It's not that hard. The pans are forgiving, more so than us in the comments, right? But I say all that to say that if you know the why and you drive and you find that passion to get into cast iron cooking, it's addictive, and it's going to pass on to your children and your children's children, because that same pan that my granny cooked in, for me, whenever I was her grandson back in the day when I went to Memphis, Tennessee, my mother is using that same cast iron pan today. And the crazy thought is that at some point she's going to pass that down to me, and then I'm going to pass that down on to my kids. So that's one pan that has lasted generations. So this is your story.